DeBar, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And while he's making his way up, if I could just ask the last speakers to move toward the podium: Edmund Riley Jr., Maureen Morgan, and Dennis Gallagher.
Yes? Good evening. I'm going to ask you to do something, and it's unfortunately something that you'll have to do very quickly if you're going to do it, because time is very short. On February 8th, there were about 1,000 of us over by the fountain. On February 15th, there were a few thousand of us on the Hudson Line railroad train, a few tens of thousands of us at 3rd Avenue, walking from 52nd to 69th Street. There were a few 100,000 of us at 2nd Avenue, and more than a few 100,000 of us on 1st Avenue. And we were all asking the government of the United States to slow down in the march to war in Iraq. To date, despite the fact that nearly 1 million people were in New York on the 15th asking for this, not a single congressional representative of this area, not Senator Clinton, not Senator Schumer, not Representative Engel, not Representative Lowey, not Representative Kelly, has heard us or taken a position on this. I know that's how government works. I know it took literally decades for action to start happening on the government's front on Indian Point, but it has happened, and it is happening. And I know that it was more than a year, or, well, it was many months anyway, from the time that you showed leadership on this issue to the time that Kelly and Lowey and people in federal and state government from this area started to take notice of it. But they seem to be coming around. We don't have that much time on this, unfortunately. I wish we did, but we don't. So we need a resolution now, basically, calling on the United States government to slow down, to let the process work, to not act unilaterally. In a country that values human life, that values our children, that's waited a decade for the promised peace dividend, that has 50 states with 50 budget deficits, and one state, this state, with 60 some odd counties with budget deficits, with libraries closing, schools losing funding, tens of thousands of county residents, hundreds of thousands of New York residents, and millions of Americans asking on the record for the government to slow down. I can only say this and ask that you stand with us. Not one life for oil, not one child's education, not $1 of health care, not $1 of job development monies, not one of our civil rights for a war for oil. When peace is possible, preferable, and demanded by the people of this country and the entire planet, people have to act. That can start here. Please act.
Ed Riley.